What if one room could change your future forever? One opportunity, one connection, one moment powerful enough to redefine your journey. That is the vision behind the Ambassadors National Youth Summit, a platform created to raise the next generation of Nigerian leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers. Since 2014, the summit has inspired thousands of young people across Nigeria and beyond, providing leadership development, enterprise opportunities, and access to voices shaping the future. And now, a new chapter begins. On Saturday, August 29th, 2026, more than 3,500 delegates will converge at the Grand Ballroom of Oriental Hotel, Lekki, Lagos, for the highly anticipated 8th edition of the summit under the defining theme, the role of emerging leaders as catalysts in securing Nigeria's economic prosperity. Get ready for powerful conversations, transformational insights, high-level networking, and opportunities capable of unlocking your next level. Plus, participants stand a chance to win business grants, cash prizes, laptops, smartphones, and other exciting rewards. Your future could begin with one decision, one summit, one platform, one opportunity to rise. The Ambassador Summit 8.0. Register now.
The convener of the Ambassadors National Youth Summit. Before we start, we need to make this known to our special guests, the press, that we want phone silence or possibly to be on flight mode so as to have smooth event. Thank you. At this point, I would like to appreciate my boss, the convener of this event, and in person of Dr. Joshua Oyeniyi. Thank you, sir. And also, on his immediate right, we have the Chief Operating Officer in person of Dr. Cosmic Macduff. Well done, sir. And also, on the same right of the COO, I have Miss Ijeoma, the Director of Protocol and the Assistant Summit Director. Thank you once again. Also, on my left, I have our own special person that has made this event possible in person of Miss Itunu. She is the Director for Welfare for the Joshua Oyeniyi International Foundation. And welcome once again. So at this point now, I'd like to call to my boss in person of Dr. Joshua Oyeniyi to take the floor. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, our distinguished guests. We are most delighted to have you join us this afternoon at this press conference in preparation for the Ambassadors National Youth Summit, the 8th Ambassadors National Youth Summit, which theme is the role of emerging leaders as catalysts in securing Nigeria's economic prosperity. Organized by the Joshua Oyeniyi International Foundation, which official sponsor is the Tosin Adebuji Foundation, and our supporting partner being the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, LSSTF, on this date, the 15th of July, 2026. Distinguished members of the press, representatives of government, development partners, corporate leaders, traditional and religious leaders, members of civil society, members of the diplomatic community, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Distinguished members of the press and all present here this morning, On behalf of the Joshua Oyeniyi International Foundation, I warmly welcome you to this press conference convened to officially announce the 8th Ambassadors National Youth Summit. Today is not merely about unveiling another event. Today is about raising a national conversation that demands urgent attention. The future of Nigeria and the future of millions of young people whose ideas, talents, and aspirations will determine whether our national advancement towards prosperity continues or we struggle with recurring social and economic challenges. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, the NBS, youth unemployment among Nigerians aged 15 to 24 stands at 8.6% as at the third quarter of 2023 under the revised labor force methodology. More importantly, only 12.7% of workers were in wage employment, meaning that the vast majority of Nigerians work in informal, vulnerable, or self-employed activities rather than stable quality jobs. As Nigerians, we are believed to be one of the most resilient black races, and most times our youth are perceived as below. 1, full of potential but pressured. Nigerian youths are some of the most creative, hardworking, and ambitious young people you will ever find anywhere on earth. We are building tech, fashion, music, content, business, and movement from scratch. But we are also doing it under a lot of pressure, such as rising cost of living, limited opportunities, and the feeling that we have to make it fast. And the big question is, where will these efforts take us? Will it take us to the promised land? Global minds we are, but living local standards and under available resources. The generation that we are in grew up with the internet and social media. So we think global, but live local in available resources and living standards. Despite using our phones to learn skills and sell products, tell Nigerian stories, and connect with the world, we are limited by confined economic situations, governance, and the investment by those in governance, while dealing with mindsets of may Nigeria not happen to you. We are tired but resilient. The Jackpot syndrome, the hustle, the grind, these words come up a lot because many youths feel they have to do twice the work for half the reward. Yet, the frustration continues. There is a stubborn resilience that keeps our heads above water. It is believed that when one door closes, we, the Nigerian youths, will build our own doors in a more refined version with the backups like community engagement, our faith, and our creative mindset. We are demanding a new kind of leadership. Young Nigerians are no more content with being talked to or talked about without any intentionality to unravel our disturbed minds about how to survive or being referred to as leaders of tomorrow. These are just mere rhetorics. Rather, we want to be involved in the leadership process without any prejudice to gender, to religion, to ethnicity, to tribe, or any other acclaimed selection without merit through the who know you syndrome. Now we are asking for transparency, accountability, and leaders who understand their intentional realities. Movements and conversations have shifted away from mere rhetorics and vain promises. Vague accomplishments after assessment to empirical evidences of purposeful leadership, balanced mental health, civic duty engagement with a unified voice rather than louder noise. The Joshua Oyeniyi Foundation is proud to be under the leadership of a tested, trusted, and accomplished leader who serves as the chairman of our board of advisors, Dr. Ayodele Ogunson, who also currently sits as the executive secretary, chief executive officer of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund.
All protocols duly observed. My name is Dr. Cosmic Macduff. This time is a moment of choice for us, and that is the reason why we are here this morning. So according to the saying that do not allow your background to put your back on the ground, it is at this point that young Nigerian youths can no longer watch from the sidelines. I want you to understand that rather than want to be involved in the statutory leadership process and avoid selection without merit or who know you or who you sabi mindset, it is also at this point that they have resolved to be under worthy leadership, worthy mentorship, worthy engagement, and so as to make purposeful choice with prolific efforts such as, number one, choice between waiting and building. You see, waiting for the government, for connections, for things to magically get better, or start building yourself via learning a skill. Start a business. Create meaningful content that you can post on social media that people can learn. Organize your community and productive youth engagement like the Ambassadors National Youth Summit. It is a choice of complaining about the problem versus becoming part of the solution. Number two, choose between silence and voice. You need to stay quiet, or you need to be considered for the appointment of, let's say, SAAs or SSAs, and let you stay quiet, or you make decisions for yourself and for Nigerian youths, or you speak up, or you go and vote. You run for office and hold leaders accountable and shape policies that affect not just your life, but every Nigerian youth in the world. A specific choice from they to we. Number three, choose between escape and impact. You see, japa to find greener pastures abroad, or stay and plant seeds here, knowing it's harder, but the impact can be what? Deeper. Neither choice is wrong, but the legacy to be made is what will define individual youth. A choice that will define our generation. Number four, choose between division or unity. Let tribe, let religion or political party lines divide us. It is your choice. Or you stand together, or we stand together as one Nigerian youth first, and we fight for common things like good education, social amenities, good jobs, security, fairness, and justice, amongst many others. Number five, you choose between shortcuts or substance. Either you chase quick money, you chase clout, you chase shortcuts. It's your choice. Or you build character, you build skills, you build legacy that will last beyond these American times and the trying times that we experience today as Nigerians. Now, we look at what we have today and we ask ourselves, why do we have the Ambassadors National Youth Summit? I want you to understand that the reason is that it comes from this conviction that the Ambassadors National Youth Summit was conceived. For this 8th edition, the summit has served as a platform for leadership development. It has served as innovation, entrepreneurship, policy dialogue, mentorship, and nation building. Our mission is very, very clear: to raise a generation of emerging leaders who will influence government, who will influence business, who will influence education, technology, security, media, healthcare, diplomacy, and community development. I want you to understand that the leadership is no longer optional for just you and me. It is a national necessity. Economic prosperity is not just created by chance. It is created by competent people, people who are making responsible decisions over time. Thank you.
It is my distinct pleasure and honor to announce the 8th Ambassadors National Youth Summit. We began this effort in October 2014 at the main auditorium of the University of Lagos. The aim of this summit is to inspire, equip, and empower young Nigerians to be the ethical leaders and enterprise innovators that Nigeria needs to be a truly global power. The theme of this year's event is the role of emerging leaders as catalysts in securing Nigeria's economic prosperity. The date of the event is Saturday, 29th August, 2026, and the time is 9 a.m., the venue being the Grand Ballroom of the Oriental Hotel, Victoria Island, Lagos. At this 8th edition of the event, we are expecting over 3,000 physical participants, including delegates from across Nigeria and outside the country. Attendance to this event is free, as this event is generously supported and sponsored by our benefactor, Sir Chief Kesintin Adebukunla Adebutu, GCON, the Odole Odua of Ile-Ife, and the Asoju Oba of Lagos, under the auspices of the Kesintin Adebukunla Adebutu Foundation. The registration link for this event is www.joi-nationalyouthsummit.org. Registration will be processed on a first-come, first-served basis. For this 8th edition of the summit, we have a lineup of distinguished speakers, and we are pleased to announce them as follows. Our distinguished Professor, immediate past Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, GCON, as our goodwill message speaker. Babatunde Raji Fashola, former governor of Lagos, SAN. Dr. Obafemi Amzat, the current deputy governor of Lagos. Mr. Christopher Gwabin Musa, the current Minister of Defense of Nigeria. Dr. Ayo Ogunson, the CEO, ES Lagos State Security Trust Fund, LSSTF, who also doubles as the chairman of our board of advisors as the JOI Foundation. We have media personality Dr. Morayo Afolabi Brown. We have Mr. Fred Nnadike, CEO of Finite Communications Limited. We have Chief Mrs. Ehiawina Joy Patrick, the Group MD, Patjida Group. We have media personality as well, Chude Gideonwo, We have Emeka Anslem, Miss Adejoke Lasisi, Mr. Femi Adisa, Mr. Babatunde Akin Moses, Pastor Andrew Umoru, Ayo Subomi Dada, and an amazing highlight of the event, Miss Daniela Oweye, who is the 2026 highest scorer in the UTME organized by JAMB. This summit is made possible, like I said, through the support of many visionary institutions that believe in investing in the future of our young people. We have the KAAF, CAF, and the Lagos State Security Trust Fund. We, however, remain open to additional collaborations with government agencies, development organizations, private sector institutions, international organizations, philanthropic foundations, and corporate bodies who share our commitment to building Africa's next generation of transformational leaders. We call on governments at all levels to continue investing in education, in skills development, in entrepreneurship, in digital innovation, and youth inclusion in governance. We call on corporate Nigeria to support mentorship, internships, innovation funding, scholarships, and youth-led enterprises. We also call to our members of the fourth estate, the media, to help amplify constructive narratives about youth leadership, innovation, entrepreneurship, and national development. We also want to use this opportunity to call on all Nigerians and Nigerian youth. Whether you are a student, an entrepreneur, a graduate, a professional, an innovator, creative or researcher, the summit is for you. And as highlights, we have prepared some modest grants for delegates who have outstanding business ideas and already operational businesses. There will be also support tools, mentorship, and gift items for many delegates at the event. Today, the Joshua Oyeniyi International Foundation proudly declares the official commencement of activities leading to the 8th Ambassadors National Youth Summit 2026 in Nigeria. Together, let us raise a generation of emerging leaders who will restore hope, inspire innovation, strengthen institutions, create opportunities, and secure Nigeria's economic prosperity. The future that we desire will not be inherited. It must be built, and that building must be done by enterprising, innovating young people like you and myself. And it begins with us. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much for continuing to support all the efforts to building the Nigerian youth who believes in the brand that Nigeria is. Our goal is to build and to support the building of a Nigeria where every young person is proud of this country. We have that in the United States. It's a commonplace prayer to say, God bless the United States of America. We want to have young people who believe and are proud of Nigeria, that they make it a norm to pray, God bless Nigeria. That's the goal. That's the purpose of the Ambassadors National Youth Summit. Raise ambassadors, raise leaders who believe in a great Nigerian entity and continue to inspire greatness through efforts and collective innovation to build the Nigeria of our dream. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. God bless Africa. And thank you all for being here this afternoon.
Thank you so much, my convener, Dr. Joshua Oyeniyi. And thank you also again, members of the press and distinguished guests. In order to avoid rhetorics, our mission as an organization is to defend the brand called Nigeria, just like other citizens defend theirs as well. We are not among those that will talk down on our country or project the bad parts of the country. We are after rebranding the image because we believe Nigeria is us. It is what we believe in, and we are ready to go to any length to defend the name and the image of the country called Nigeria. Thank you once again, members of the press. At this point, we will need to have questions from the audience and those present. It's a time now for question and answer. Thank you.
In this our current dispensation, do we still believe that some youth want to hear words like that would just inspire? Because I remember some years back when I was at this event, I was finding my feet. I was an ND student, and
Sorry, please, can you please introduce yourself? Thank you.
My name is Rhoda. So back then, I was at the same program in the University of Lagos. I think that was maybe the first or the second edition of this program. But I want to ask, are some youth still yearning to get a compass? Are youth still? Because then that was where I got a compass. I took a picture of myself that day after the event where I said, I need to know, I need to be more. And since then, I've been yearning to be better. But then, please, I want to ask, I am just curious. So that is the reason I'm asking this question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Rhoda, for that insightful question. Are youths still yearning for a greater Nigeria? Do we still believe in Nigeria? I'll answer that question with a story because I believe I represent a large part of Nigerian youths who have been through very challenging upbringing. As somebody who has suffered at the hands of institutional failure, lost a parent to the failure of a doctor in a state and government-run hospital, but continues to believe that Nigeria can truly be a great country. In 2015, I was privileged to win the Global Student Entrepreneur Awards in Nigeria, and also privileged to represent Nigeria at the global events in Washington, D.C., the finals. When I was in the U.S., as a young Nigerian who had just gotten his first international break, if you may call it that, to travel to the world's most powerful nation, if you allow me to say that, I had many people who told me, don't look back. Don't go back to Nigeria. There's nothing to go back to. But I continued to defend and uphold the honor of this country, not because I had any phantom promise from any politician. I just continued and still continue to believe that Nigeria is a great country. And true to it, I've met even non-Nigerians in my course of travel, both within and outside this country, who truly believe that Nigeria is the next big place, the next big thing in Africa. We are a seemingly latent power. But the moment we realize how powerful we are, and we begin to take efforts to activate our greatness, the world will respect us, the world will give us a place. And so I believe there are many Nigerians like myself who believe in this country. I meet them on the streets, I meet them on the road, who have strong faith that Nigeria is a global power. We may have leadership challenges, but it doesn't diminish the fact that we are a country of immense potential. We are a country of great possibilities. And that's what we'll continue to inspire through the Ambassadors National Youth Summit, raising leaders who believe in this country, and beyond inspiring them, giving their hopes a chance to become reality. We began to do this many years ago through scholarships. We partnered with brands, we partnered with institutions to give scholarships. And last year, we also gave some business grants. And this year, we'll be replicating the same and doing a bit more to continue to say that beyond inspiration, we want to equip, we want to empower our young people to succeed. And this we are doing with the support of members of the community, members of corporate institutions, and of course, members of partner agencies of government. So I do believe that there are Nigerian youths who continue to yearn for greatness, who believe in our entity as a nation, and will defend and support whatever Nigeria stands for anywhere in the world.
We'll take about 2 questions more. Thank you.
Let me stand on already established protocols. My name is Prominence Promise. I'm a learning and executive development expert. I want to thank the convener for this summit. I mean, this is the 8th edition. Just like I believe everyone is aware, initiatives like this spur up young people and encourage young people that they can be better and they can also be contributors to national development. There is something I have as a concern, knowing the track record of the Ambassador Summit, and at a critical time in a nation like this, with such a crucial theme for this year's edition in securing our economic prosperity. I want to ask, this year's Ambassador Summit, would there be systems in place that would put a balance between making policies, encouraging? I mean, we have such a great lineup of speakers, people who are doing great things already, who have had track record in this country. My issue has always been with implementation. And I see that Ambassador Summit is playing a very crucial role. For me, I think that it's a kind of bridge. But, I mean, just to be sure, what systems would be in place for this year's summit in putting a balance between just talking and actually implementing? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Promise, for the question. So you have asked a very pertinent question. Beyond the talk that comes with most events, we have tasked ourselves with the responsibility of execution, practicability, and implementation of the dialogues that we anticipate to have on that day. One effort towards doing that is our intentional partnership with agencies and organizations that are doing the job. Us at the Ambassador Summit is an effort to begin what we call conversations, policy dialogues, and discussions that can produce communiques or produce statements that we can now pass on to our legislators or our actors on the field of implementation. Like you did mention, we are in a time where our country is bedeviled with insecurity. And if you look at the theme of our event this year, the role of emerging leaders as catalysts, every word is painstakingly selected in securing Nigeria's economic prosperity. And we figured we are having this event in one of Africa's most powerful economies, that of Lagos, right? Which is why we had to partner with the Lagos State Security Trust Fund that is tasked with the responsibility of securing and providing adequate infrastructure for over 21 million Lagosians, and by support and by extension, also providing a model to other states in Nigeria. So we are doing this at a level where we believe the leaders who will be in the room will hear the conversations, will take these points, and then will call upon us and other similarly innovative Nigerian youths to help drive the execution. And which is why a lot of things will be happening post the summit. We are having leadership discourses, leadership dialogues, and even execution dialogues to help our young people get involved in driving the implementation of policies that we come up with. And like you did mention, this is a crucial time in Nigeria's history we are headed into the elections. We are also encouraging young people to play active roles in the process. By doing this, we encourage them to be civil, we encourage them to be calm, we encourage them to play their role as Nigerian young people, not shy away, not become apathetic to the process, but play their role in which they believe that we contribute to building the Nigeria of our dream. That's the goal for you and myself, to have a Nigeria that we can be proud of. So when we travel out of this country, we can always look back and say, Nigeria is my country, Nigeria is my home. So our goal is to encourage you, to encourage ourselves, and those who are listening to us by extension, to continue to believe in Nigeria. This country is a great country, and I must tell you, I've been privileged to see a few parts of the world, in Europe, in Americas, and I tell you, wherever we are, Nigerians are outstanding. We have resilience, we have potential, we are creative, we can survive any domain, any environment. If we can only adapt ourselves to the system that we are in and be more intentional with integrity, more intentional with playing active roles, I want to assure us that this country, in a decade, can begin to rub shoulders with some of the countries that we are looking up to today. We can look at the examples of Singapore, Malaysia, India, and other countries that used to be with the same level that we used to be some few decades ago. It took the intentional efforts of policy drivers, young persons, and leaders to make those countries leave the class of what we call maybe third world nations or countries who are struggling. And today, to a large extent, they are largely self-reliant. So I want to also encourage us, ladies and gentlemen, like we know, 2027 is around the corner. As leaders, as young persons, you must play active roles. How do you do that? If you don't have a voter's card, please do get it. Get that, and make sure that you go out to exercise your franchise as a political person of this country. Our goal is to ensure that we don't leave leadership and the process to people who may not have as futuristic or as big a dream for this country as you and I probably have. Let's get involved, and together I can assure us Nigeria is headed to greatness, and that journey begins with you and myself. Thank you very much for the question.
Yeah, so to have a balance, I think I would want maybe one of the community person who is around here, or you have a very informative question, or maybe you have a submission or advice for us, if there are no other questions. Thank you.
Yes, my name is John Olashupo. First of all, I must really commend the convener and the organizers of this powerful summit. And I, paying keen attention to the introductory address by Dr. Joshua himself and the CEO, I see that we share the same POV. And it further reinforces and strengthens my conviction and belief that Nigeria will truly be great. When it will happen, well, I can't really say, but then I believe someday soon we would see this change that we've been praying for, I've been working for. Now, I also believe that as youths, as emerging leaders, we have a role to play. I mean, there's a lot of talking. It is time to act, to get involved. So I agree with all that we've been saying. And I also agree that there is also the place of implementation. I mean, all the policies and, without implementation, then we are back to ground zero. Now, another aspect I want to ask or talk about is we cannot also leave the path of the government. I was privileged to be part of a delegate on a training travel to China recently. And we had a couple of days to understudy their economic growth trajectory. So it took us through how they started 40 years ago. Yes, they have a growth plan for about 5 years. So every 5 years, they have a plan for growth. After every 5 years, they review and make another plan. They follow through with this. Now, one thing I noticed one thing stood out for me it is the government support. It's more like a plug and play economy where the government takes responsibility for every major infrastructure that is needed for the enterprises to, thrive on. They just come with the ideas, and then just plug and play. The road networks, the logistics, everything is available. Government making that available. And we see the result today. I mean, China is the production hub of the world. If you would, you'd agree with me, yes. So the government has built that, foundation. And I see Nigerian youths have the same, we have the skill, we have the wit, we have the grit. Now, my question is, as a movement, the ambassadors movement or summit, what are the things we would put in place to also bring a form of accountability or a check for our government, the systems? How do we bring a check and how do we put them in check? That's my question. What are we going to do in that regard? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. John Olasupo, for that brilliant question. I'll answer the question with a practical experience that we created in 2018. I think that was the 4th edition of the Ambassador Summit. We had it at the main auditorium of the University of Lagos. Then we invited the presidency. We got a number of invitations to the presidency, and we got the presidential spokesman to be in the room in person. And when he was in the room, delegates were able to ask him pertinent questions about the running of the government of the day. And in fact, at a point in time, it looked as though we had set him up. But the goal is to be able to drive these kind of conversations that maybe an ordinary young person on the street can ask a governor, sir, how do we deal with this problem, with this challenge that is affecting me and my other Nigerians? That is why when we have these events, we encourage engagement. When you come to the event, ask questions. Don't shy away. Take the microphone. Ask the policy drivers that are in the room. Ask leaders who are in the room, who are there to speak, who are there to give keynotes, the questions that will affect the standard of living that you have right now. Be very open, be very transparent. Ours is to also create that platform. It's a platform for you to ask these crucial questions. Ask questions about how your country is being run, how your finances are being managed, how your budget is being implemented, so that at the end of the day, we have a country where leadership is accountable to the citizenry, and we have a country where people respect those who voted them into power. To a large extent, we want to remain that neutral organization who will answer the call to provide a platform where anybody can be engaged, whether they are in the ruling party of the day or whether they are in the opposing party of the day who wants to take over power. The goal is to provide that platform to engage them without fear or favor. And so we encourage our young people who are coming to the event to do so with a mindset that it's an opportunity to actually engage our leaders and to ask them things that will make us become better people, have better systems, and of course improve our standards of living as a nation. Thank you very much, Mr. John, for the question.
Yeah, okay. Do you have a question? All right, thank you, please.
Oh, my name is Joy Patrick. I'm with New Central TV. So my question has to do with, during your brief, you mentioned social media, youth being more active in social media and putting out educational content. And I want to ask if we all have access to social media. So we've all seen that there's been an increase lately of professionals, like professionals in different fields, say medical professionals and other industries. They come out and they've become like social media influencers, and they're using their knowledge, their professional knowledge out there on social media. They're using to educate people. But there's also another part of that where there's people that are uneducated in those areas coming out there and they're putting out information that they're not sure of, that just maybe they did a little Google search and they found that information and they're putting it out there. So when you're saying you're encouraging people to put out educational content, how then can you ensure that the people putting out this educational content actually have proper knowledge of this thing they're putting out, so that they don't misguide people, they don't misinform people? That's my question.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I also want to answer you from a place of practicality and experience. I'm a social media person, right? Why I said so is I love social media very well because it allows you to have the world at the palms of your hands. And why is it so? Is that everything about my life, I got it from social media. Meeting the Ambassador Summit that we are here today, I got it from social media. The mentors that I've met, I got them from social media. The businesses or contracts that I've gotten in my organization, I got it from social media. Now, the thing is, what are you using the social media to do? It is our collective responsibilities as a people to use social media in a positive way. So what do? We create awareness for those people who are not educated, for them to use social media in a way that it can pass positive information. The only way we can do that is through awareness, because what people are aware of is what lives inside them. It's what they remember. So we must continually put out awareness for people to know how to use social media, and to also appreciate those who are bringing out educative content. You can't come on my social media profile and see anything that doesn't edify your spirit. So it's about us choosing what is right. Thank you.
And let me also add to that. The use of social media, can become a leveler of some sort. And I must tell you, one of the ways to properly maximize social media, or to also encourage people to use it right, is to foster the investment in knowledge, is to encourage people to invest in what they know, to invest in knowing the right things. And not just knowing the right things, putting them out consistently. And social media, again, can become a game changer. For me, what I did with social media was I began by investing in knowledge. I was always reading newspapers, always reading journals, always reading and watching and following up with amazing content. My interest was in things that would build my mind and build my future. And in doing that, I was immediately becoming interested in producing the things that I'd read. I remember one occasion I continued to post the things that I do on social media, and then somebody wrote to me from the US and said, "We've been observing the things that you've been doing, we've been watching the things you've been doing, and would like to invite you to come and speak to us at a conference in Washington." This happened in my Facebook Messenger inbox. I didn't meet them. That engagement led me to at least 3 speaking engagements in the US. I'd gone to Washington, I'd come back. Those who met me at that same event said, "We want to bring you back to New York." But all of this began from consistently building and investing in knowledge. So I will encourage our people who are here, be interested in positive and mind-building information. And this is how you are going to be able to have content that make for value-adding returns and results to you. However, at our own foundation, one of the things we are doing is to also invest in knowledge for our young people, which is why beyond the summit, we have what is called the JOI Leadership Academy. That academy will build you in soft skills like public speaking, in soft skills like AI technology, and other vital areas of your growth that you need to become a better person. Once you are a better person, you will provide and produce better results, better content on Facebook, on TikTok, and what have you. I also believe that if we that are knowledgeable about these things, we also reel out such quality content, we would also overshadow those whose goal is just to make content without any value being added to society? Thank you very much for that question, dear News Central representative.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, okay, we still have one more person. I think I'll need someone that would probably speak on giving us advice. Yes, questions are good, but sometimes encourage us as well for coming up with this initiative. Yes, so I'll take the last question. Then I think I saw someone that has a submission. Okay, New Central.
My name is Ella from New Central still. Still on the issue of the media. So we're talking about all these opportunities and who it's for, the youth and all, but we're forgetting a certain demographic. So I want to ask, so there's only so much the media can do, there's only so far the media can reach. So there's some persons or some youths in rural areas. So I want to know on your part as a foundation and this entire Ambassador Summit, what exactly has been done to reach these people in rural areas that don't have access to all this, to getting this information?
Okay, so thank you very much. Like my director here said, that's a question that cuts through the work that we do at the summit, and it does so very incisively. Why do I say so? The work that we have to do is immense. There is so much to be done than has been done. And that is why our drive is to continue to foster inclusion. And that inclusion happens as we have more partners who are able to support our drive to make our activities cut across the length and breadth of this country. Like you mentioned, there are people in rural areas in the north, even right here in the southwest, who are not, who don't have the access to social media, who cannot see what's going on, who cannot attend such events. Maybe word of mouth is how we can engage. There are persons who know these ones, who can tell them, oh, there's an occasion, there's an event that you can attend. There's a place you can go, you can speak. And as people who are probably rural dwellers, they have the opportunity to come to such events. We are providing support, logistical support for those who want to attend the event from places where they have very little support, so that they can ultimately become a part of the conversation and a part of, of the room. So it's a continuing work. It's an ongoing effort. And we want to continue to encourage support from members of the public who are also hearing this to say, let's continue to spread the word about building together our country, our nation, one person at a time. If you hear this and you happen to know one or two persons who probably are in some localities, some rural areas, and you can support them to be in the room that day, you would have created a light in the middle of darkness by sending them back to that area. So our goal is to continue to drive that conversation and to elicit support from all members of the delegates, both here and, of course, in the room on that day. Thank you very much. Okay.
So I think I'll take the last question, please.
Thank you very much for this platform. My name is Nwaorgu. I'm the CEO of Straight to Biz. I've been following up with the Ambassador Summit since 2014, and I can say it's been very impactful. Actually, Straight to Biz was an idea in my head. That was since 2012. So attending the Ambassador Summit in 2014 was one of the inspiration that I got, that period towards registering as a company. Now, my suggestion or what I would advise, I don't know if it's already existing, but like the convener said when he was answering one of the questions just now, we talked about the Joshua Oyeniyi Leadership Academy. So I want to say this. After the Ambassador Summit each year, what next? The Ambassador Summit itself is already impactful. There are great lineup of speakers who are doing well and already have a solid track record. Now, what I want to suggest is this. There are people that are, or there are youths, that one of the things that we push them is if they can be under somebody that can give that coaching, that mentoring, and accountability. I think one of the reasons why you have several dishonest businesses or business owners is because there is no mentoring. They only have skill. And so they can use their skill to make money, but they are not accountable. They are not honest. They are not led by someone. They are not under somebody. So with these great speakers that are coming to JOI every year, can there be a platform where some youths can be mentored or coached by these persons? You know, the Holy Book says, he that walks, or a companion of wise men will become wise. In other words, being in the midst of wise people will make you wise. If we can have some youths, some persons that can be put under the mentoring of some of these speakers that come, to be coached by them, to be pushed. This is not about skill acquisition now. This is about strong mentoring or coaching, because it's a means of countering godfatherism, which is one of the reasons why we have a lot of square pegs and round holes in our system. Godfatherism, putting people where they ought not to be. Whereas coaching can actually help get the right people into those places. So there are some persons that aspire to be politicians. There are some persons that aspire to be business leaders and so on. Can we have some of these speakers that are coming to have a program to coach some persons in the direction they are going to? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So, to allow my my convener take a breath. Yes, like he did mention earlier, after the 8.0, we have the Joshua Oyeniyi International Leadership and Mentorship Academy. And that is the platform that will take care of all that has been listed by you. So after the event, you will definitely, be seeing, other programs whereby we will be, having mentorship, programs where we can also use that avenue as well to train them on. My COO is an expert in project management, and he has vast experience in that. We also have, other areas whereby we'll be doing intense and effective training for both leadership and mentorship. Thank you.
Good afternoon, representative of the government, and good afternoon to the entire JOI Foundation. So we are calling on SMEs, small businesses, business owners to be a part of what we are doing here at JOI. We are calling for sponsorship and for support for more partners to come in and support the good work we are doing here at JOI. So we have exhibition booths that are available for SMEs and business owners, not just the big organizations now. We also have exhibition booths for the small business owners. And you can reach out to us and make more inquiries from our website, www.joi-nationalyouthsummit.org. Thank you.
All right, so you've heard from her. She's the one taking care of that. So, as the convener said, we would like Director Ijeoma to speak. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Standing on due protocol, I would like to encourage everyone to register for the summit. You can register at www.ambassadorssummit.org. So this program is open to students, entrepreneurs, graduates, partners, and CEO of companies. We urge you all to register promptly, and you would also get a follow-up email so you don't miss out the dates. Thank you.
Yes, so the website is www.joi-nationalyouthsummit.org. That's the website for registration, the website for all things that pertain to the event. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just wanted to make that distinction.
All right, so in absence of any other agenda, I would like to bring the event to a close so that we can all return back to our different places of engagement and assignment. So want to once again appreciate everyone for making our time to attend this international press conference organized by the Joshua Oyeniyi International Foundation, the organizers of the Ambassadors National Youth Summit. Thank you once again. We pray that as we go back to our various destinations, we will get there safely. Thank you once again. On behalf of the Joshua Oyeniyi International Foundation, I want to appreciate each and every one of us for making our time to come. I am Tosin Adebuji, the Director for Media Communications and Public Relations. Thank you.
What if one room could change your future forever? One opportunity, one connection, one moment powerful enough to redefine your journey. That is the vision behind the Ambassadors National Youth Summit, a platform created to raise the next generation of Nigerian leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers. Since 2014, the summit has inspired thousands of young people across Nigeria and beyond, providing leadership development, enterprise opportunities, and access to voices shaping the future. And now, a new chapter begins. On Saturday, August 29th, 2026, more than 3,500 delegates will converge at the Grand Ballroom of Oriental Hotel, Lekki, Lagos, for the highly anticipated 8th edition of the summit under the defining theme, the role of emerging leaders as catalysts in securing Nigeria's economic prosperity. Get ready for powerful conversations, transformational insights, high-level networking, and opportunities capable of unlocking your next level. Plus, participants stand a chance to win business grants, cash prizes, laptops, smartphones, and other exciting rewards. Your future could begin with one decision, one summit, one platform, one opportunity to rise. The Ambassador Summit 8.0. Register now.